Just gonna do a video on the MLD eVent Bivy. I camped out last night. I put the bivvy out last night. I like to have a shelter over at least my head so I can sit up, eat, drink and chill out in camp, plus spread all my gubbins out. So for my bivvying, I like to have a night. I used it last year. I've used it in quite cold weather and it kept me quite warm. And now I've used it in rainstorms, well, half of it, because this half is obviously sheltered, and it has performed, you know, amazingly well. You know, you can see water has literally formed down there. Nothing has got to me. Now, I've been sleeping in this and I haven't got out of it since about 11 o'clock last night, and I was, yeah, I probably got into bed about 9:30 last night, and it's now coming up to 12 o'clock. So I've effectively been in here, cocooned inside this for around about 14 hours. This is the inside of it here. It's starting to rain again. This is the inside of it. Look, you can see that it is completely dry. You might actually be able to see the water pooling under there, maybe. And it's completely dry in here. Not only kept me dry from the rain, and we've had plenty of rain, but it's also kept me very, very dry from condensation from the inside as well. And it's a very, very comfortable bivvy. Like I said, I'm the type of person that just likes to be able to sit up in camp. I like to be able to eat and drink and all that type of things. What I did, I don't know how well you can see this, hopefully okay. So if you saw my video about this bivvy and this tarp from last year, then you'll know that I put a pole behind my head and then kind of hooked the pole to the top of the bivvy to hold the bivvy up. But actually, I never really thought that was such a great idea, although it kind of worked, but it was a bit awkward. What I've done now, and I can do it from lying down, I've put one of these catch things on, whatever they're called, that you use for holding a tent in place, yeah? So I can make my line whatever length that I need to make it. And then if I come down here, I'm just keeping an eye on you to see that you can see what I can see. And then I think you can see, yeah, you can see that, can't you? And then you get your catch thing, your carabiner. Oh yeah, it is a bit awkward actually. So actually I did do it from looking at it. I tried doing it without looking at it and I couldn't do it because the little loop on the top here is very, very small. You could probably do it like putting a little bit of bungee cord on there, to be honest, just to make it a bit bigger and easier to see. And then you put your loop, your thing through there, and then all you do, I'm amazed that I thought of this. I'm quite clever myself. I even amaze myself sometimes. You then just just tighten it up like that, just like that, like Tommy Cooper would say, just like that. And then that's it, you're done. And then obviously you just get inside and you do it up. And that's it, oh, I've gone and done up the whole thing rather than the mesh thing, but never mind. But of course, and then you just do it up. And then when you wake up, you just sort of sit up, move around, and oh yeah, you maybe just want to loosen this off, loosen that off, undo that, just make sure your bivvy doesn't get anywhere near your cooking pot when you're cooking, which I am. That could have been embarrassing. And that's it, and that's how I do it up with this line here. I don't know why I never thought of it before. I've got two poles here One pole is actually holding the shelter up, but because there was quite a bit of pressure on that pole, I decided just to put a second pole next to it and just tie one piece of cord around the top just to give it a little bit more stability. I know one pole will be okay, but you know, it's never a bad idea to have a second pole handy. So getting in and out of it is easy with this. And of course, if you need to have a pee, as long as it's not raining, then all you need to do is just, you know, undo the zip here to down there, and then sort of scoot just to here, and you could go either side, I guess. Probably would have made more sense if I'd have gone to the left, wouldn't it, where I'm not going to put my pack. But anyway, just scoot down here. It's so much rain, it's going to get watered down anyway. Just scoot down there as long as it's not raining, and if you're a bloke, dangle your bits over and just pee in the grass there. You don't have to get out of bed, you don't have to get cold or wet, as long as it's not raining. And if it is raining, well then all you need to do is just scoot back this side, which I did last night, just kneel, and then just pee there. And like I said, I just peed in Lass's water bowl and rinsed it out. And then I just, you know, chucked it out over there. But you can see there, you know, there's a lot of moisture on it, and it is completely dry inside. You can see the raindrops. Raindrops and roses, da, 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 dee, da, dum. And of course I do, if you see my cheap video, you know, even under a thermarest, which I'm using here, I put another mat. I like to put a foam mat under my bed. One, it just gives a bit more insulation. Two, it gives a bit more comfort. And three, it's a good place to put it when you're not using it. I'm talking about the mat. Here we are, inside. Okay, so straight away, because now the sun's out, it's too bright now. So straight away, all I need to do is to tighten up this cord here, which I can do almost one-handed. Not quite, but oops, I think you've dropped off. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, what I do for YouTube. Oh, God. I've lost my camera now. Where's my camera gone? It must be outside. There it is. Okay, well, once you're inside, I'm getting too old for this. Ron, you're going to have to find another MLD model. I've just died. Right. So once you're... Oh God. If people who watch my videos, you've got to have a sense of humour, for Christ's sake. Right. So once you're inside, you have... Look. What can you see there? That's it. There you go. Look, I'm sitting up. Okay, I haven't done it up. My head's outside, but look. When you do that, then the mesh part up, I can actually sit up. Well, okay, I can rest on on an elbow with this. So look, I'm going to do up the mesh, okay? If I can, somehow. That's the mesh done up fully. And there, so that's the mesh. And this is amazing. Look, you know, you actually have, you know, a reasonable, there must be at least a foot or 14 inches of space when the net, clearly when the net's part's done up, you're going to lose this. You're going to lose this space here, but you have, I've scooted back beyond the head net thing, and this is how much room, you know, I have in here. Okay, it's not exactly a palace, it's not the super mid, But for a bivvy, you know, it's surprisingly spacious in here. And of course, the net takes up this whole thing, so you can see by how you're slightly overexposed or the camera's a bit confused. You know, there's plenty of light in here. I always keep my torch in the top left-hand corner, so whether it's a tent or innard or anything like that, it's always, you know, handy. I always know exactly where it is. So you can see how much headroom is. So there's not much point in me lying down, because you can see for yourself there's, you know, an absolute ton of room. I really should just put a little bit of bungee cord on that tie out thing there. So that's the head net. Now just bear with me 1 minute. Yeah. It's the sun's come out and it's excuse me while I just but this is the other thing. This is the other thing. This is the other thing that I like with this over a tent, is I can sit up and my head's still under the tarp, and I'm sitting up. Now obviously I know a lot of people like to bivvy, you know, without a tarp, but it's a bit more convenient for me and my style of messing around. So if we put that there, right, I've just taken my thing off and put a t-shirt on because it's really quite warm. Wind. Right, so now if we scoot back, head down. Right, now then, last night I slept with the mesh open. Let me see what we can do. So if I scoot back, so now we don't want the head net. Okay, so it's raining. It's not, but we'll pretend it's raining. And now we want to, and now we don't want rain getting in. So if we scoot back here, okay, it's a little bit tighter now, but let's have a look. Let's see what we can do. So now we've got the head net hanging down. Do you take this woman, this man, to be your lawful wedded wife or husband? Are you kidding me? She's uglier than a pig. Of course not. But is she rich? Yeah, she's rich. Yeah, I'll take her. Give her. So now obviously we've done up the head net thing. You know, we've undone the head net. And we're now, you know, literally cocooned inside here. The zip's done up, you know. Clearly, I've not tried this part in the rain, but I tried the rest of it in the rain, and no rain got past the zip, you know, on the outside part. So I have no real reason to suspect that the rain would get past this part of the zip. If it did, I think it'd be like 1 drop in a million, which would be no different to condensation, which would then escape anyway. So clearly you can see it's not quite as tight, but you can still, I can still do that movement. You know, I can still do that. Or for those of you that don't like Rolex, I can do that type of movement there. So you can see my Garmin. So, you know, so you can, you know, so if you're a left arm sleeper like that, you can sleep that way, or if you want to do it, you can do it just like that. So you can do it either way. And, you know, okay, you can't sit up as such, but you know, bearing in mind in here, I've got a Thermarest Pro Light, which I believe is about 2.5 centimeters thick, although I've not measured it. Plus, here inside is a foam mat. So both of those things are going to take up, you know, a little bit of room, clearly, and I can still to a degree, you know, sit up like this. You know, if you were if you watch my videos, if you're mad enough to do such a ridiculous thing, you know, you'll know that I like to watch a film and that type of thing. Well, you know, in a pinch, and it would be a pinch, you know, in a pinch I could, you know, you could just about watch a movie in here or something like that. You know, you'd work around it. You'd work around it. You could eat in here. You could bring in your bottle of water or something and drink in here, I guess. So, you know, it's surprisingly roomy. I'm sure you want a view down. I'm sure you want a view down below. Let's see what we can do. So you can see it's quite breezy. It's been a blustery old day. That's my feet down there somewhere. There. I brought my cheap sleeping bag again. Normally, of course, I have an MLD bag or my PhD sleeping bag. And, you know, this is me here through the head net thing. You know, if I was sleeping like that, not a pretty sight, I agree, but hello, how are you? You know, it's about 8, 10, 12 inches above me. I wouldn't be so lucky. You know, I've got the pole out on the camera thing, you know, and you can't quite sit up, but it's a surprising amount of room in here. Room for two, feeling lucky. Right, okay, well, if you haven't subscribed and you haven't hit that notification button and you like watching a complete fool doing foolish, ridiculous things occasionally, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. I thought this was going to be a short video. It started to rain again, but there's no condensation in here, none at all. Maybe we just got lucky with the weather, you know, in that it's warm enough that it's just condensing out quicker because of the warmth. Who knows? I'm no mathematician. And then, of course, when you're finished, you just find your zip up here, and then you unzip that one there. Unzip that, where are you? There you are. Unzip that. Unzip that. And then, you see, because you can see the top there, you just, actually don't put your head inside, just loosen this off here, like that. Super quick, super easy. I made it, so it must be good. And then that's it. And then you can just scoot up. Here it's cooled off, now I've taken that inner off, that top off. And then you just scoot back here, and of course the beauty of under the tarp, I'm now sheltered, it's raining, and all of my kit is dry. And this is that's the poncho, MLD Pro Poncho, and the MLD, and the MLD, and the MLD eVent Bivy. Seal nylon base, eVent top, watertight zip. I've seam sealed it, which I did last year. Did it in camp. Thanks for watching.